Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm just playing a quick game of Carcassonne here. Let me up the brightness. Just take some quick points here. So yeah, I'm playing a quick basic game of Carcassonne. If you saw my last lunchtime Carcassonne game, you recall that I thought I was doing very well, but in fact I was not. So I'm going to be a little bit less cocky this time around. This player is going early on with farms, and considering all these tiny little like half footballs that are popping up, I think I'm inclined to compete with them there. If you're like me and you've played a lot of the Traders and Builders upgrades and expansions, then when you play the basic game, it's deceptively cutthroat. Like every little bit of points you can get really matters. And the fact that they sacrificed the cloister points they could have gotten from this tile over here in order to just get long-term points from the farm says to me that they're really looking long-term. They don't really care about the little bits here and there that they could get. They see already that there's going to be like 3 farms here that are going to be, or 3 cities here that are going to make that farm really worthwhile. Now there's 4. So there's going to be a big farm scoring at the end of this already, I can tell. I should get a thief out there just so I can have some utility out of any road tiles that may come up. Okay, so with that, I think I'm ready to start branching out a little bit here, and placing a tile here does a couple things. One, it prevents my opponent from dropping in here and putting people in and sneaking in on that farm. It could also open me up to perhaps getting snuck in on the city, though, when I don't want that. So I think instead I'm going to do the sneaky move and put a farmer there so I can claim sole ownership of that, because I think the farmer is going to be worth it in the end. Let's see what they do. Okay, so they're going for the easy mark here and dropping in a knight onto that city. Well, I think this might be the right opportunity to both increase the point value of my cloister here, and get a knight onto that city, and also get an extra meeple onto this farm here. So I'll go ahead and do that, maybe. It seems too easy to sneak in on that city, though. But I don't want... yeah, no, I think I'm going to go this way. Yeah. We'll see if that works out. Alright. This is a time where I really miss having a builder that I could start getting some extra turns out of. But c'est la vie. I'm just gonna sneak in on that city, put some pressure on them. Now I'm stuck with just 1 meeple left. Everything's being occupied right now doing something, but I've got good variety. I've got a couple knights on the board. I've got a cloister on there. I've got a thief on the road. And with this, I think I'll be good to drop that in there, close off that. So we'll be sharing the points on that city if she gets a corner piece. I'm assuming Nataliii is a lady, but... Okay, with that... So with 1 meeple left, I'm going to go ahead and sneak on this city as well, and get a meeple back. And this is the cycle that I like to get into. I like to get into a rhythm where I have 1 meeple in reserve so that I can do these quick point value things and then trade out that last meeple every so often. It's not until like the last 10 turns of the game that I start worrying about not having enough meeples to get every last farm score that I could possibly get. Now I could cut them off here, so she'll get 5 points from that road, but she'll get a meeple back, and I don't necessarily want to do that. In fact, what I would rather do is cut off the potential point value of that road while also preventing her from getting a meeple back too soon. So I think what I'm going to do here is instead put this T intersection here, and that will ensure that she has to put a T or an intersection there, a T or a cross intersection there. So that will restrict the maximum point value for that road, while also putting pressure on to get meeples back. So I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah. This also protects that vector from encroachment on my farm. Let's see. Low scoring game so far. We have a lot of long-term investments or things that are gradually building up. Oh, hey Tracy. Yes, I am never gonna spend my last meeple. I always keep in reserve. Sometimes when I play with Grant Rodiak, he is very aggressive and he'll drop in his last meeple. Now here is the bigger question. In this situation, is it better that we both get a meeple back and have 2 meeples in reserve? Neither of us is going to get the points, but I am concerned that she actually wants her meeple back more than I do. This is the tricky part. Yeah, I think I can use my 2 meeples to better effect than she may. But why should I be the one that spends my turn to complete that city? If she wants to do it, she can do it. So instead, I think I'll go here and seal up that corner. Yeah. Sometimes you got to think about not just what you spend your meeple on, but also what you spend your turn on. Like your turn is another type of currency, and you could spend that turn doing a thing. Oh, in this case, may have been better that I actually be able to use the meeple. I missed that tiny city that she just put down, so it's no fear. I still want a meeple out that's facing outward to the outer edge of the board so that it's easy to add on to if I need to. Even though it puts me at 1 fewer meeples than her. Alright, so now we know for sure that if she gets that T intersection that she really wants, she is going to tie me on this farm. So I need to start working on ways to counter that. Unfortunately, I only have 1 meeple left to do that with, so I gotta really rush and make sure that I can get some stuff on the board, or rather off the board. Man, I shouldn't try to talk cool, because it never quite works out. Okay, so this would at least slow her down a little bit, because it's going to be harder to find a tile that fits in this gap. Doesn't really do much for me, but as long as I can get some pressure on that, I think that'll be okay. She's concerned now on both fronts here. She needs to find a tile that fits that gap, and she also doesn't want to have a tile that connects this corner. Meanwhile, I get another elbow. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's actually make this even harder here. So even if she does find a tile that fits this gap, she'll have to find a tile that fits that gap next. With only 40 turns remaining, I think that's going to be really, really tough. Oh, actually, nope. Yeah, she can put that there. Okay, so lucky draw there. She managed to pull it off. Oh, okay. She really wants that city. Alright. In that case, let's make things a little bit difficult here. So she has no meeples left, so I'm feeling pretty good. She spent her last meeple trying to secure this city. If I can get it set up so that it's incredibly hard for her to finish it, that's two of her meeples that are kind of locked up somewhere on the board, and me with 1 extra, which is good. So I'm going to do that or that. Which one of these? Usually it's going to be harder to find a tile that fits here in this gap. So I'm cool with that. "36 tiles remaining." She's really building up that road, and that's dangerous for her because if I get a T intersection or anything that closes off that road, it's just quick points for me. Usually if I have a road tile and I don't have any thieves on the board, I'll add it to a road that has that has neither end closed, so that even if someone does claim it, it'll take them a little bit longer to actually make anything worthwhile out of it. But in this case, I'm just going to toss it out here because it's not really doing me much good. Feels like a waste, but what are you going to do? See, I'm looking for that cap. I want that over here. Alright. Oh boy. So she managed to seal off that. That's okay. I think I want to have my cloister done, but perhaps that's the more prudent option. So any more work she does on that, she'll have to either add to my score. Yeah, okay. So that's a gain for me. Oh, okay. Lucky me, I got the T intersection that she's looking for. I'm certainly not going to put it in that spot because that would tie her up with my farm. So instead, I'm just going to get the quick points that she set up for me to have here. In such a low-scoring game, 5 points could be the difference. But I really do think that the farm is going to be the bigger factor here, with so many small cities connected to it, and 3 points for each city. And already the scores, like halfway through the game, being so low, yeah, there's no question. I think I'm going to go ahead and add this to that city, start expanding it out a little bit. Also, that makes this whole area here a little bit harder for her to sneak in on once she does get a meeple back. I don't know when she will, because right now she's invested in some long-term things like this whole mess here. This is going to be a pain for her because she's got a cloister tied up into that. She's got a thief tied into that. And even if she manages to get it and gets those 2 meeples back, all she's doing is tying me for the farm. And right now I'm in the lead. So let's go ahead and start sealing off that cloister with 1 more tile. I'll be able to complete that. This is a situation you definitely don't ever want to get into. You don't want to get into a place where you have 1 tile that can save you from like breaking even or get you to break even. It's no good. So if I do this, I'll get 9 points straight away, but I have 8 points locked in right now at the end of the game. If I put this down, it'll get me a meeple back, 1, but it's also going to give me the full value of that city, and it may actually be more worthwhile for me to do this instead, since I already have, I'm effectively gaining 1 point and a meeple, whereas here, I'm gaining 1, 2, 3, 4 points and a meeple. So I'll do that instead. And I am concerned that this opens up an avenue for her to sneak in on my farm, but as soon as I see that she has a meeple back, I'm going to defend that area. And thankfully I have now 2 meeples in reserve with which to do that. So let's zoom out. Okay, so she finally got her T intersection tile. It's not a problem. She's got her meeples back. Now I have to prioritize putting down this farmer that I said I would do. So there I go. So now all I need is an elbow or a straight line or perhaps another T intersection. I don't know if there's any others. And there's a couple other tiles that would fit into this too. With 22 turns remaining, I think I'm okay. I think I'll have 3 farmers on that field to her too. But again, last time I made the mistake of being too cocky, so I'm not counting my points until they've hatched. So I could connect this here, or I could just get some quick points somewhere else with that road, perhaps. At most, all I'll be getting is like 2 points here and there. I don't know if that's worth it so much. I'd rather that we be forced to share this city with all its sweet, sweet points. But then again, she's in the lead right now, and I don't necessarily want to increase that lead just by giving us a tie. I think I will keep my 1 meeple and just get the quick 2 points and inch closer to a tie so that when we get into the farm scoring, we'll be able to secure a victory for us. So that X'd out her... okay. I've X'd out her 2 meeples here, so she's got those locked up. She's trying to get back to majority on this city since that'll give her some competition against my farm if it does end up being my farm. This is another avenue that I could use to get this farmer into the field, so I'll do that. I do like the idea of getting a quick 3 points, but I'm already in the lead, so I think I will just I'll play it safe and just drop that tile in there. Alright. So we got this whole deal. I have 2 meeples in reserve. I think I'll just put more pressure on that city, and if I get a corner piece, then I'll have majority on that city segment. If she gets a corner piece, then she'll have majority on that, but I'll be able to quickly counter that if I get a good draw. Let's see. Any quick points I can get? Not so much. I can get quick 3 points here. I would rather this city be incomplete and have her be more tied up than it be complete and like tie for score or... Oh. Well, okay. Well, there's a concession there. Alright, that was unexpected. Huh. Well, that was a quick game.